Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. It's good to see everybody. I'm House Minority Leader Chad Campbell, and welcome back to the Capitol after a very long break, and welcome back for our second 100 years. It's exciting to be part of this centennial legislature and to really try to lead the state back to a better place for the next 100 years. We hope that our state steps in the next century on a path that ensures future economic success instead of the direction it's been headed lately, which is divisiveness that is ripping apart our state. The things we've seen over the past few years do nothing to make anybody in the state of this country proud of Arizona. Guns in bars, transplant patients being denied their life-surviving procedures, divisive immigration bills that just haven't been working. We've seen our middle class, our very own economic engine, dwindling and suffering while Tea Party lawmakers and special interests have voted to give tax breaks to the rich during these times of incredible economic hardship. When Arizona families sit down at the table, I believe that instead of worrying about the things they've been worrying about, they should not have to worry about how they're going to pay for their next grocery store trip or put gas in their car. I want them to discuss the bright future their children are going to have after getting a good education in our schools and how they are going to save up money and then attend college. Middle-class families, Arizona's economic engine, deserve to focus on good ideas to put people back to work and improve the public schools so our kids can compete for jobs of the future. So it's time for a new direction in these next 100 years. And like all Arizonans, Democrats are sick of the partisan bickering at the Capitol. Instead of fighting each other, we should be fighting to get things done for change and get things done for the people of this state. Unfortunately, it seems that the Tea Party lawmakers and certain special interests, with their rigid ideologies, have made bipartisanship extremely difficult these past several years. And look where it's left us. Governor Jan Brewer and Tea Party lawmakers have sold the state capitol buildings to big Wall Street banks and others, as Governor Brewer alluded to in her own speech today. And the fact that she is asking for a solution is too little too late. We cannot solve this problem. That ship has sailed. When they made that deal, they cost the taxpayers of the state about $1.5 billion. And I sat on the debt committee over the interim. We cannot prepay and buy back our state buildings without a massive penalty to the taxpayers of this state. Governor Brewer's statement today was pure political theater. It cannot be done in any legislative manner that I'm aware of. And Governor Jan Brewer and the Tea Party have also voted to give millions in tax cuts to big, out-of-state corporations while providing next to nothing for small businesses, which are really the true engines of our economy. So instead, we should start making government work for us by giving Arizona companies first crack at state and local government contracts so our tax dollars create jobs here, so that they stay here instead of going into other states or worse yet, India or China or other countries. It's also time to reform our unfair tax code. All of you that have been working down here for several years know this about me. It should be the #1 priority we do as legislators and the governor does as the executive of Arizona. We need to stop picking winners and losers and make it fair for everyone. Hardworking individuals, families, and small businesses all deserve a fair tax code that gives them the opportunity to achieve the American dream. Instead, the Tea Party lawmakers and Governor Brewer have voted to raise income taxes on middle-class Arizona families while cutting taxes for those who make more than $100,000 per year. We saw that just last year in the legislative session. And according to a recent survey, Arizona voters are sick of their politics as well. Nearly 2/3 of those questioned favor broadening the tax base. And together with lowering the overall tax rate, this is a balanced approach to ensuring fairness in our tax code and restoring funding in a state that's made deep budget cuts to education, infrastructure, healthcare, and public safety. It's about time we finally got rid of the crazy and unfair tax-free goods and services that benefit the super rich, like country club memberships, facelifts, and many other countless products and services I could go on about all day long. The question I have to ask is, why don't the rich have to pay for taxes on their extracurricular activities while middle-class families struggle to pay for tax clothes and school supplies? It just doesn't make sense. And it's about time that the government of Arizona, and that means us, the legislators in this state, start focusing on what matters, creating jobs. Let's stop the divisive games. Let's stop the extreme partisanship. Let's get back to doing the business of the people. That's what Democrats are focused on this session, and we're ready and willing to work together to do the hard work, compromise, and create a better future for our state, and most importantly, for the people of our state. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Senator Shapiro. Thank you.
Thanks, Representative Campbell. Senate Minority Leader David Shapiro. We just heard Governor Brewer claim that she and the Tea Party-controlled House and Senate should get credit for the improving economy. and the resulting surplus we now have. The absurdity of this statement astounds me. Apparently she thinks that gutting public education and kicking poor people off of health care are economic stimulus. The fact is, the nation as a whole is beginning to see early signs of economic recovery, and we are lucky enough to see those results in Arizona as well. Our governor and her legislative supermajorities are trying to pull the wool over the eyes of Arizonans. This is the same leadership who last year sold our state capital to Wall Street investors, made unprecedented and devastating cuts to our kids' schools, and denied health care to over 100,000 Arizona children. I'm no economist, but I can't see how this helped create jobs in our state and improve our state's economy. It's time to change the legislature's priorities. It's time for the legislature to side with hardworking Arizonans and their families. With this legislative session, we have an opportunity to get our state back on track, setting us on a path to recovery and renewal. If we're to achieve this goal, we need to put the partisanship and extreme Tea Party agenda aside. Arizona families are struggling right now.